Well, make me a video this morning or this evening. I think it's this evening. It's afternoon. I went to a video deal the other day about survivors or whatever they want to call themselves. Doomsday preppers is what I think it was, something like that. Well, my feet hurt. I had to go get my son a jump. And they don't. They talk a good crap, but nobody, or say live long enough, like some of us, have been through a depression or a war, a severe war, a world war, the Dust Bowl. Way back in the day, like I said, my grandmother, she was I think 11 or 13, I can't remember. That's another thing you get old, you can't remember too damn good. Dates, but she went through the Civil War. And she could tell you about her grandpa. And so on and so forth. And they had unusual ways of preserving food. And then I asked them on there, what are you going to do when you hate these is all rusted up? Your lids, you've done kept them for 20 years and they're all bad and they ain't working. What are you going to pass on to your grandkids, your great-grandkids, how to store food? You're too used to just having, a way to seal your product up with a lid. I don't think that's sealed. Yep, no, it ain't sealed. But, like I said, they think that, they just run out the store and get some more of these lids and rings. Now, these glass jars last 2,000 or 3,000 years. But there's other ways to do things. Dehydration. That's like I did here. I dehydrated some apples. I left the ring on them. You got teeth that just chew them up. But you can dehydrate. You can pickle is another way. And you can use paraffin wax, and that's reusable. You just have to wash it. Beeswax. My grandmother was a great one for beeswax. They didn't have much paraffin. Or candle wax. They made it out of. Nowadays, you can buy these candles and melt them down and clean them up and use the wax for jellies and jams. But her mother, now she came through the Civil War. Her mother, bees wasn't that prevalent or whatever. Wasn't that easy to get hold of. And she used egg whites and paper to make a lid on your stuff. But like I said, young people don't want to hear all this shit. They just think they got some good ideas on them prepper shows. And I ain't running them down, some of them damn good ideas. But they don't want to listen to the old people. And that's the sad part, because I'm going to tell you something. The old people, they've been there, done that, and they know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to preserving food. I believe they didn't start using the pressure canner, not the water bath, but they didn't really use the pressure canner to about 1938, 39, somewhere in that area. They had a can machine that canned that you could get a hold of during the Second World War. You could buy canned stuff, but not glass, homemade pressure can stuff. But like I said, they usually smoked their meat, salt and sugar cure, pickled it in mason jars. I got a mason jar here, that little mason crock. Made pickles, sauerkraut, depending on what nationality you was. But they knew what the hell they were doing. And they didn't have no USDA approved or ball canning book to go by. They just went by the seat of their pants. Now you call them rebel canners, I think that's what you're going to call them. But they learned off their grandparents and their mothers and great grandmothers how they did it. Like I said, they made their own vinegar. They made their own wine, like I got here. They made everything. They didn't go to the store for very little, very little. I remember my mother crushing beets and boiling the sap out of them, sugar beets, to make sugar. They didn't have cane sugar. I guess if you live way in the South you would, or Hawaii. But they didn't have cane sugar. They used sugar beets. And they didn't have no pectin to can their jellies and jams and made their own pectin. I mean, a lot of plants are high in pectin. They just, like apples are high in pectin. They made their own vinegar to pickle their own vegetables, or make their own sauerkraut. And that reminds me, I gotta stir my vinegar today. And they made their own wine, their own whiskey. They made everything. I think my mother used to say, well, the only thing they went to the store for was tobacco and something else. I can't remember what else she said. But she said they didn't use tobacco, so they didn't have to really go to the store much. But that's what they did. But I went on that show and I asked them what they're going to do when they can't get no more lids and rings. And they didn't. They just skipped over that little question. They didn't have to how to answer it. But there's a lot of ways you can do things. I gotta check. I gotta see how my wine is doing. I went to the top of the hill and got me my ice machine's supposed to come today. I broke one, but I ain't gonna get the one out of the motorhome. I gotta check this stuff. I shake it a little bit and see how much bubbles come up. There's my mead over here. But they've been in here 30 days. I usually go about 45 days before I start bottling it up. And that's what I do. Everybody got their own damn method. I need to clean off all this over here and put up my steel. I got to get me one of the little hot plates to keep it about 165. Make me some mash. And so on and so forth. I think it's mead. But I wash these bottles up and start another batch. I've got more bottles, more gallon jugs. That's just one over here in this. Make beer. But they didn't rely on other people. They did stuff themselves. And that's the main thing. They made their own quilts. They made their own clothes in a lot of damn places. Most of them did. But there's a few things they bought. They'd buy sometimes shoes. Because they cost anywhere from $1 to $3, and sometimes $8 was the max. Wasn't no damn $100 tennis shoes like they got today, or $300 tennis shoes. But young people need to pay attention to the old people. We ain't gonna be there to guide you probably in the next time. And the next time we ain't gonna be there to say, well, this is how Grandma did it. This is how Mama did it. I made a few videos. Basically, I keep them, because when the internet goes down, I keep on CDs. Because they ain't gonna be affected by EMP. And I got some old CD players in a Faraday cage. They can crank. You want them hand crank electric and watch the CD. But I'm going to tell you something. If it really happened, through natural sunspots or a nuclear bomb or something, you ain't gonna be able to buy anything. Zero. You might trade and barter for a few things, but the real important things, like these people in their cannon lids and stuff, they're not gonna trade them off because they're only good for 3 or 4 times at max. But like I said, you should buy up a bunch of them. I've got 200 of them coming because I do put dried products in it. Now here's my apples with the peeling tore off of it, cut off of it. And that'll keep, I put rice in them, I put all kinds of stuff. This here is bell pepper. Let me put it down here where you can see what the hell I'm doing. I got they seal. This here is zucchini. Zucchini. Now I keep a lot of herbal, like this is dried ginger. I keep it for making my herbal medicines and stuff. Now I seal them. But like I said, there's ways to seal stuff up without having to have a lid or a ring or any damn thing. I gotta get around and do a bunch of stuff today. I'm gonna make some northern beans with ham, and like I said, I got them pressure cookers and Instamax or whatever they're called, Instapots. But I can cook them on the stove or build a damn fire outside if I have to. But listen to the old people. They know what, they've been around a while. They've been through a hell of a lot of shit. And they know what the hell they're talking about. And I'm talking 60 and plus. I'm not, 50-year-olds are so arrogant. I hate to say this, I got some 50-year-olds, almost 60. But they think they know it all. They don't know shit. When it comes to the old people, when it comes to preserving food out in the field and field dressing it and everything. There's just, and I ain't saying all of them, but there's a few people that know how to do things because they've listened to the old people. I gotta get to doing what I'm doing. I've got banana vinegar and I've got some apple vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. There's a difference between apple vinegar and apple cider vinegar. And strong apple cider vinegar. But like I said, I've got a bunch of dehydrating to do. I've got to go get. It's time right now to get the red bud blossoms to make red bud jelly. I do a lot of foraging. I think about Oklahoma. They got, and that's where I'm at. There are about 30, 40 plants out there that you could eat. I'd be damned if I was standing right beside something that I could eat and not know I could eat it. Redbud tree, you eat the whole damn thing. A lot of times you can make teas and ointments and poultices. You can make a poultice out of it to take the swelling down out of post oak roots. But like I said, listen to the old people. They've been there. They've been there, done that, and forgot about more than you'll probably ever learn. But remember, whatever you got in your hands at the time it hits is all you got. There ain't nothing past that you're going to ever get. Because it could set it back for 200 to 500 years before we reach the level that we are today? How many people know how to build the internet? How many people know how to build a cell phone? Hell, how many people know how to build a car? How many people know how to build a gasifier? Like they used in Europe. They didn't have no gas, so they made a gasifier that burnt wood, drove the car down the road. Been there, done all that. I gotta let you go. I got a bunch of stuff to do in a short time to do it. I will talk to you later. I'm thinking about putting them beans on. And I'll can up some. This is my overflow room. And it's getting pretty overflowed. I'm telling you, about to run me out of the house and home. This ain't even the room I got food stored, but hell, I can see everywhere I look, I got food. I got alcohol, I got vinegar, I got, now this is a little area in the back where I've got my herbal medicine shop. That's another thing, you don't have no damn medicine either. Oh, I'll run down to the drugstore and get some aspirin. There ain't no such thing. Talk to you later. Have a great day. And remember, what you got in your hands is all you got. And nothing past that. Talk to you later.